about how to pack for a festival. Now, I've been going to festivals about 15 years. Yes, I am quite old. So I think I've worked out everything you need by now. Obviously it depends whether you're going camping or whether you're treating yourself to a hotel, but even so, I'll go through all the possibilities and then you can pick and choose what you think you need. Right, so we're going to start on beauty and health stuff. Right, make sure you have suntan lotion. Obviously, if you spent loads of money on getting the big ones, you might not want to fork out on getting some miniatures as well. So make sure you can find like a small bottle, perhaps an old hotel bottle, and filter some into that. They're quite expensive, so you don't want to have to buy more stuff if you don't have to. Make sure you've got a high enough factor. You always see at festivals people with really bad burn lines, so make sure you get the factor you need. Now this product is amazing. Just do that. It's only £1.99 and it has, I think, 18 uses. You can use it for shaving, you can use it as mouthwash, soap, hair shampoo. Have I covered everything? Oh, for cuts and grazes and bites and things. And yeah, really good value at £1.99 and a fair trade product, so I can't recommend this enough. And this is peppermint flavour, which is to die for. So that's a good thing. Wilko, most towns have a Wilko these days, a really affordable, cheap shop. And they do some really great moisturising after sun lotion, and it comes in a handy little size there, so add that to your bag. They also do miniatures of most things like shower gel too. Now, the main thing us girls worry about probably is our hair. Now, firstly, I'd recommend you go with curly or wavy hair, because the chances that it's going to remain straight if you're camping the whole time is very small. So if you go with it intentionally curly, at least you can kind of maintain that look. But you're going to need some dry shampoo probably. So this is a Paul Mitchell Express dry wash, which is really good, and obviously nice and miniature too, so you can put that in your handbag. And if it's going to be a really hot festival, you might want to protect your scalp and your hair. This is a sun shield conditioning spray by Paul Mitchell as well. UV protection, all that stuff. Now, your lips will probably get dry because you are out all day in the sun. So if you want to buy something cheap, then Wilko also has these little lip balms, a pack of 3. Give them to your mates or whatever. You don't want to get all crusty. Now, us girls, we don't like to talk about this too much, but you want to keep fresh down there. So make sure you've got some wipes, and they can also double up as tissue as well if they've run out, which they tend to do at festivals. Now that's another thing, make sure you bring a bog roll. I always bring one, but some supermarkets do one that comes without the cardboard tube inside, so it takes up a lot less space, so keep an eye out for that. In terms of keeping your skin and your face nice, you want to make sure you can you want to make sure you can take off your makeup at the end of the day, but it's not just makeup. You've got like mud, grime, general sweat and stuff that you pick up in a mosh pit basically. So have some good wipes for all over your body, but if you've got sensitive skin, make sure you've got wipes that suit you. I've got these Proactive ones that came in my set that I'm going to give a try. I generally find though wipes aren't good enough for my skin because it's so prone to breakout, so I've always brought a little bowl with me to have in the tent and some water so I can use my face wash that I usually use at home. I know that sounds like it's going too far, but it's nothing worse than feeling, I don't know, unconfident when you're walking around a festival. Obviously, little deodorant. There's loads of miniatures these days. If you're prone to getting ill, make sure you've taken your vitamins beforehand. If you don't want to bring your big tub of pills, then you can get things like this little spray thing that you put in your mouth. Now, nails. You might think it's nice to go for a nice girly colour, but the fact of the matter is you will get mud in your nails and bits of burger, bits of, well, loads of gross stuff. You can see now I was outside yesterday and I've got like grubby nail there. So if you don't want people to notice that, go for a dark colour. You can't go wrong with like a black or something like that. Or if you are determined to go with one of the summer's, you know, fashionable colours, make sure it's a really opaque, thick one that kind of doesn't show too much dirt from the underside of your nail. This SC colour is one of my favourites at the moment. It's called Bikini Sotini. I imagine some of you will have hangovers and feel pretty grim during your festival experience, so make sure you've got, you know, your ibuprofen and your paracetamols, and probably Imodium might be a good idea as well. Try and keep them in the packets, because I know you don't want to get caught out by someone thinking you're doing something dodgy because you've just got loads of loose pills in your bag. So if you've got it in the packaging, no one can really argue with you there. Now, this is arguably the most essential part of your beauty bag, and that is antibacterial hand cleanser. Obviously, it's nice to feel nice and fresh and clean, and who knows what you can pick up at a festival. So carry that in your day bag, I'd suggest. Another thing for girls to stay fresh, bring some little panty liners. Like I said before, you might run out of loo roll, so it's always handy to have one of them in or with you, so you can use that instead. Now guys, if there's a chance you're going to get a bit fruity, bring one of these, although I'd suggest not. I can't imagine it's a very nice experience. Plasters. You never know if you're going to have an accident. For instance, one year I was squatting to do a pee in the stream bit by one of the camps, and I ended up slipping down the hill and into the stream, cut up my leg. So yeah, I had to clean myself up and put lots of plasters and look pretty rank for the rest of the festival. But at least if you've got plasters, well, it's going to help, isn't it? And that brings me on to something else, actually. Don't wear brand new shoes to a festival. You may want to show them off, but you don't want to risk like blisters and rubbing and just being uncomfortable for the whole weekend. So if you've got some old faithful ones that have been worn in, wear those. Or alternatively, do what I did last year and buy some really cheap fake DMs that have lasted a couple summers, but now they need to be in the bin. But they're nice and soft, and I didn't have to wear them in. Not too heavy like actual DMs, so you know it's not tiring on the feet. Or go for wellies. Hunter sent me these beauties a couple of years ago when I was doing the presenting for Reading and Leeds Festival, and I've always thought they're a bit overpriced, but they are a lot more comfortable than just your average welly, and a nice little heel there to give you a bit of height if you're a bit of a short ass. And always make sure you've got big socks for inside your wellies, so you don't get rubbings in them as well. What else? Bring a bin liner, because you don't know what the weather's going to be like and you might want to sit. Well, you definitely will want to sit because it's exhausting. So bring a bin liner that you can sit on, use as a sort of shield from the rain, or you can just put your dirty washing in if it doesn't get any other use. Right, you need to bring some sort of hat or something for the head. A lot of people are bringing bandanas these days because that's kind of on trend. Some of you will want to bring snapbacks. I don't think I can pull them off, but some of you probably look wicked in them. If you're going to like a less hardcore festival, like I don't know, Wireless, a V, or even Glastonbury, which is a bit more hippie, you can go for a trilby sort of hat. Or a straw kind of hat. But with Reading, I've always gone for a beanie. But if we're still on the heat wave, I can imagine I'm not going to want to wear a beanie, so I'm going to have to come up with some cool updos to do, or something cool with a bandana or scarf or something. Otherwise, I'm going to be an absolute sweaty Betty. Maybe I'll do my next vlog on some updos for people with long hair at festivals. Don't hold me to it though. Make sure you bring a razor if you're not a waxer, because no one wants to see your hairy pits when you're, you know, in the mosh pit giving it some. So bring that. And if it's nice weather, you're going to be wearing shorts, so you don't want big gorilla legs either. Well, unless that's what you go for. Apparently that's the new thing, isn't it? They're bringing back women with hair, so go for it if you're into that. Kirby grips and hairbands. You just know if you don't bring a Kirby grip and a hairband, you will definitely need one. It's just the way it works. I always bring a comfy pair of shoes that I can wear on the journey back, because if you've been in your heavy boots for the whole weekend, they're a bit soggy and your feet are tired, you just want to put on your favourite comfy shoes when you're on the train back or in the car back. Obviously you can go barefoot if that's how you roll, but it's really nice to have that option. Sunglasses, of course, an essential. You don't want to burn those eyeballs, and obviously it's good for hiding your hungover eyes or just your general haggard face, so make sure you've got some of them. Make sure you've got a pen and a bit of paper. You just never know when you might need it. Perhaps you're an autograph hunter, or perhaps you need to give someone a note, pass over your number for instance, or plan your schedule for the day. That's another thing. Make sure you've printed off a schedule, because there's nothing worse than not having a lanyard and having to ask someone all the time where you need to be. So make sure you do that. Have a watch on. If you're this isn't a watch, by the way. I'm aware that's not a watch. I know I pointed at it, but so if you need to meet people, make sure you've got a watch, because your phone will probably run out of battery or stop working for some annoying reason. In terms of what to wear, I'd always say bring a pair of tights. It may look like the weather is going to be glorious for the whole 3 days, but you don't know what's going to happen to your legs. You don't know if it's going to get chilly at night. You might want to cover or distract from a bruise you've got, or a shaving rash or something. So bring some tights, even if they're fishnets, just to wear under your shorts or your skirt or whatever. It's just handy to have them, and they don't take up any room anyway, do they? I've been sent this lovely backpack by Eastpak. I usually bring a crossover side kind of bag, because I like to keep an eye on what I've got, just check that no one can steal it, you know, have it properly sealed and stuff. And I do worry about having something on my back in case someone just, you know, puts a knife under and gets everything from out the bag, or has a little nosy or whatever. But because I'm working this year, I need to have a bag of this size, and I thought this one was pretty cool with the colours. And you can do a little trick to make sure the zips are at least a bit secure. It's kind of nice to have two straps too, because it is a bit sore on your back if you're a bit lopsided all day, so that's a good thing about this bag. Just try and make sure if you do use a rucksack that your valuables are well hidden or secured in there somehow, just to make it a little bit harder for them to get it off you. Address the whole problem of valuables. I'm all about the bum bag. I've been trying to bring it back for years. In my opinion, it is back. I know some of you might not agree, but I love a bum bag. I've got quite a collection actually. Got my old retro one from when I was a little tot. This one's from a site called Gringers, and they do some lovely kind of embroidered artisan pieces, so check them out. So you can keep all like your phone, your money, your ID, all that sort of stuff in there, and wear it on the front so you can always keep an eye on it. Very, very handy that. Obviously a lot of phones have torches in them now, but you want to conserve your battery as much as possible. So bring a little torch for those nighttime toilet trips. With all the guy ropes and drunk people lying about, you could easily fall over, so bring one of them, and it also helps you pick the less gross portaloo as well. Brush, pretty self-explanatory. You can get little tiny fold away ones which might be better for a festival. I got sent this which may or may not be useful for a festival, but it's kind of an alternative to pants, I guess. If you're wearing kind of a risque outfit for your festival, maybe that will be suitable. I don't know. I'm interested to try it though. If you want to wear jewellery at a festival, obviously you don't want to take really expensive jewellery because you might lose it or it might get ripped off. But I urge you, don't go for ultra cheap either, because the heat when you're in the crowd and in the mosh pit, it makes you sweat, and you can get kind of a horrible rash from cheap metal, or even worse, you'll get a green neck or green fingers. So go for a middle of the range or something that is, you know, good material, but you won't be too upset if anything happens to it. Right, you don't want to take your expensive perfume with you to a festival, but you probably still want to smell as good as you usually do with this stuff on. So you can buy little miniature spray things from places like Muji, so just put a little bit, enough for a weekend's worth of squirts in there, and take that with you instead. It's quite handy also to bring into the site if you're feeling a bit whiffy, but don't bring a glass expensive pretty bottle like this. Don't forget your IDs if you want to have some drinky poos while you're at the festival. I'm well old and I still get ID'd, so make sure you have that with you. Make sure you have a number with you of where to call if you lose your bank card, because obviously you might not have access to internet or whatever, and if you lose your bank card, you want to quickly make sure that, you know, no one else can use it. So maybe have that with you just to be extra safe. Make sure you've organised a meeting point with your friends, because it's very easy to get lost. I remember I spent a whole day on my own at a festival, and although you make friends, you kind of would like your actual friends to be with you. So maybe say, we'll meet you at blah 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 after Of Mice and Men or whatever, and then you can always make sure that you meet up, as long as they stick to it anyway. Now, isn't it annoying when you've planned your outfit really well, you're really pleased with how you're looking, or just, you know, it's acceptable, whatever, and then it starts raining and you've got to wear a really unattractive pack-a-mac or something that just covers everything. So Misguided have the solution for that. They've come up with this transparent mat here. So, you know, it does the job. It will keep you dry. It's got a nice little hood there. But you can still see all your outfit details through it. So that is going to be my little buddy at Reading Festival this year. Looking forward to wearing that. Layering is key at festivals. I usually have, say, a leather jacket that I can have a hoodie underneath and then a really summery top. If it gets really hot, you can tie the hoodie and the jacket around your waist or put it in your backpack. But if you're chilly, you've got the layers and you can keep snug and warm. So I'd recommend layers. But in terms of what you wear, obviously it depends on your personal style and whether you kind of adapt to which festival you're going to. Some of you might want to make sure you fit in. Others of you might just want to stick to how you always dress and stay true to yourself, and will wear whatever you want to wherever you want. If you want tips on how to dress for a specific festival, i.e. For download as opposed to V Festival, feel free to comment below and I'll give you some tips, because I think I've been to most of them now and know kind of the general look of what people wear. Obviously, don't forget your chargers. Not having a phone at a festival is a nightmare. I've done it before. And they have little portals now where you can charge your stuff if you're not in a hotel or anything, or if you're lucky enough to be in press, you can always charge it in there. Bring a camera. It's nice to have memories of festivals. I think some of my best photos over the years have been taken at festivals. It's a bit of a geeky one, but if you're there for networking, make sure you've got business cards with you. It's just easier to hand them out than, you know, swap details on a phone that you're trying to save charge on. So that's another tip. You can get these really cool miniature rug type things that you can roll up in the pound shop. So there'd be a good tip if you want to bring that instead of a bin liner. Look a bit classier, I guess. I'll post a video of my festival looks once I've been to Reading. I haven't worked out what I'm wearing yet, I'm a bit last minute, but hopefully I'll come up with something soon. If I've missed anything else, sorry about that. I think I've covered a lot of points though. Hopefully it's helped you with your packing. If you're going to Reading, do say hello if you see me. I'd love to meet you. Have a good time.